All right, and of course, Queensley is here with us also.
Good evening, Samson. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Good evening, beautiful lady.
So you were giving us the narrative about the Igbo man, according to you, parading himself as the Igbo king in Ghana.
Yes,
So let's know how
yes.
that affects the Ghanaians that made them, some Ghanaians rather, that made
So,
some Ghanaians as well, to go
actually, this
after
man said,
Nigerians, protesting that Nigerians must go.
this man actually debunked the news that it was a video or an in 2013, back then in 2013. So I don't know how come after so many years it has now surfaced onto the internet.
But people are reacting, thinking that this is something, not bearing in mind, this is something that happened years ago. And
Mm.
we're having so many stories around this particular incident. Some people say he's the king
Hmm.
of the Igbos, of Igbos in in Ghana. But that's really not the case if you look at the story properly. It's
Yes,
it's
yes.
more like a situation of SND Igbo, get, but not exactly crowning himself as king. I mean, that's a misconception because when you have a particular word and when you translate it, it does not actually give you the context of behind the meaning of this name. And I think that's where we are
Very,
getting it all wrong. Now, coming to
yeah.
this particular man and why he's making it to the internet, why is it that this is the reason Ghanaians are coming to the street to protest against Nigerians? Like, why wasn't it something different if they really feel Nigerians are bad omen in Ghana?
So I want to believe this is individual, okay? Because personally, I have a very soft spot for Nigerians because I see all of us as one people. I love Nigerians basically. So not to sound biased, I just do not know. People have their perspective about Nigerians. And to be honest with you, Nigerians are doing, some are doing quite well. They are doing their own jobs. Some also, these hookups and stuff, basically they are done by Nigerian girls, young girls that you see them doing stuffs. Do you understand? So this whole thing is dicey. But then I just do not think it should trade on this because the man has actually debunked it that he has no intention of building a kingdom in Ghana. He has no intention for that. Do you understand? And from where I sit, I think some of the protests that has been trending online is also false because some of the bloggers just try to create content. Do you understand? So some of these bloggers are also making it look like, though there's a protest against the Nigerians to leave Ghana, it is not exactly as it looks on the internet.
At some of the behaviors of Nigerians in Ghana. Some people from this will feel maybe Nigerians over there are a threat to Ghanaians, maybe because of the things they do. Maybe they are bad, they go into cultism or what have you, or maybe they are just very successful and some Ghanaians are scared that they are coming to drag, their jobs and other things that would also make them to excel and what have you. What is your perception
Yeah,
with what you can see about some Nigerians living in Ghana?
but they are equally bad Ghanaians. Do you understand? They are equally bad Ghanaians. So we can't say Nigerians are doing all the evil things in Ghana. I don't want to agree to that. And I think you see, growing up, those Nigerian movies that we used to watch, all the blood money movies, all the billionaires club movies. So that has actually stuck in people's head. Please, do you get it? It has stuck in the minds of people that okay, Nigerians are like this, like Nigerians are like that. They don't get to know them, get close to them, communicate with them, interact with them to know that oh, this person is like this. But for the fact that you are a Nigerian, they just tag you to be okay an occult or this, which me I do not agree to. So I try to talk to people who attack the personality of Nigerians in my community. I tell them, hey, some of the things that you tag Nigerians with are actually not true because I don't see them doing petty thieving, like to go and break someone's door and rob and those things. I don't see Nigerians doing that. Do you get it? So I just don't know why some people will be attacking Nigerians. To be honest with you, I have Nigerian friends who are doing very well. Some are very established here, doing very well for themselves.
Xenophobia, behavior in Ghana leaving anytime soon against Nigeria? Or do you see it escalating more than this? Do you think this is the last conversation we'll be having regarding this kind of incidents in Ghana?
I should believe so. So a lot of sensitization has to be done, okay? For people to get to understand that we are one people, there's no cause for an alarm, and we shouldn't be fighting amongst one another or ourselves. We are one people. So I want to believe that this should be the last time we are hearing a thing of this. It shouldn't happen again. If it is true, it has happened. Because me, I see some of those things, I see them to be content creators creating content to get viewers, to get followers or their pages.
Samson, the situation that you had mentioned that this man in quotes wants to build a kingdom, I think we'll have to correct that impression because the actual thing is he wants to build a complex, a business complex for Nigerians. I earlier before when I was talking to Chris, I mentioned that it seems like whenever Nigerians go to rent apartments in Ghana, rent shops in Ghana, the prices double just because they are Nigerians, because they have the impression that they are wealthy enough to pay the amount of money. That's something that we've been seeing trending online. And because business is really difficult to do in Ghana, this man planned to build a shopping complex, but the land was not, in good position. It was not disposed to be sold to him as at 2013, and that was why that deal had died down until whatever it is that was going on would be sorted out. And now moving on to the second question about the rather, I'm just clearing the air on this, and then on my question now is the situation of having people protest. From a source, I learned that this protest was funded by one of the former candidates, candidates. I don't know if it's a presidential candidate in the former elections. Was funded by this said person for people, and we had people saying that that it was sponsored by this same man. I can't really pronounce his name, so I don't get it wrong. Would you agree with
Can you
this
what
particular
does the name?
situation or
What letter
particular
starts the
statement
name?
by the people?
I can't speak to that. As I said earlier on, I know people are doing things just for followership. Okay, people are doing things for viewership, and if there is any major protest, I'm very close with the biggest media station in Ghana. I would have heard it. Do you get it? I have people in the media space that I speak with, like from time to time. I would have heard it. I've not heard. I only saw on social media. So that's why I'm telling you that this could be a way of just creating content, just making chasing the clouds. Yes, I want to say that. So I can't speak to it being a former aspirant of the presidency who has sponsored them. I can't speak to that. It's an allegation, right? So I'll leave it at that. I can't speak to that.
Something, but this very last question, hopefully, is you talked about sensitization, of course,
Hmm.
grassroots sensitization. Have you come across anything like that, maybe from the government in good heart on social media, or shall we say, on media platforms where they talked about saying no to xenophobia and the love and all of that, just to manage this, crisis that's birthing? Is there anything like that going on right now in Ghana?
It is not as Ghana is peaceful, right? The way Nigerians are taking this whole thing, it is not as it is here. It is very peaceful in here. And as always, we preach peace. Ghana is a peaceful country, and we always preach speech, preaches speech, peace. Sorry. So there's nothing like ending xenophobic because there is no xenophobic in Ghana as we speak. So that is it. There's nothing like that. And I know we have a peaceful country and we love Nigerians. Aside the fact that there are petty things that we all do which we feel is not okay. And I know there are Ghanaians living in Nigeria who are also doing things which does not conform with the rules and the regulations of Nigeria. Do you understand? So we just have to coexist with one another and know that okay, I'm in a different country. This is not my motherland or my fatherland. So I have to abide by the rules and regulations of that said country. So as other Ghanaians living in other parts of the world.
All right, something you mentioned that the way we Nigerians are taking it, the pressure we're expressing here is not as it is in Ghana.
It is
So if I
not as it
understand
is in
you
Ghana.
clearly, what you're saying is that it's just a social media noise. Yeah, something like that
Yes,
actually
very
will
well.
happen.
Very
But then
well.
again, the impression it gives to Nigerians here is not as it is over there. So Nigerians are
Yes,
safe and living well in
very
Ghana
safe.
right now without any fear of
Very safe.
anything happening to them because they are Nigerians. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, very well so.
So
Very well so.
tell me, do you do you see Nigerians still trooping into Ghana to live, regardless of all of these? Do you see Ghanaians trooping to live in Nigeria, regardless of all of this noise?
As I said earlier on, there are rules and regulations abiding every country. So if you have your proper documentation, you should be able to come and live in Ghana. Likewise, me traveling to Nigeria, you should have your proper documentation. So to give you the freedom to live peacefully. Because there were instances that immigration chases Nigerians who have no documentation of permits of stay. Do you understand? It is everywhere, not only in Ghana. It's in America. If you don't have proper documentation, you exceed your stay, you have to go. So I see Nigerians trooping into Ghana with proper documentation to have a stay.
All right, then you are inviting Nigerians to come to Ghana and stay. There is this particular I mentioned it before about the money doubling policy in Ghana towards Nigerians, whereby if this house cost about 1,000 cedis to Nigerians is placed at 5,000 cedis, shops and rent and so many other things. Have you seen this kind of situation happen before you? Have you had experience by Nigerians on this particular subject?
Unless I ask my Nigerian friends if they've experienced that. But then those I've spoken with, I've not heard anything like that. Instead, they are Nigerian friends that I have who are not ready to come back to Nigeria. I have a worker who is not ready to come to Nigeria because he likes it here in Ghana. Do you get it? This guy, I'm not sure he's having proper documentation, but he's living peacefully. And also about doubling of money, I'm not sure. I think there are residential areas that people want to live by some standard. If you go there, it's expensive out there. So it depends on where you find yourself and where you want to rent your apartment. You pay a huge sum of money.
So it's
Okay.
not targeted towards foreigners, you're saying?
Yes, yes, yes. Not. It's not targeted against
All right. So
foreigners.
something. If I am getting to understand this, this whole xenophobia attack on Nigerians, do you think it's what happened mostly in rural areas and not in urban areas? Because there are some urban areas that are civilized, of course, that may not even be part of this. But in rural areas that really don't have, much exposure, so to speak, may actually be a threat to some Nigerians living there. Do you think this could also be something like that?
If you know your people, your country people, if you know them very well, they are not people who settles for less. And I don't see any Nigeria coming to settle in a rural Ghana. They mostly come to either Kumasi, Accra, Cape Coast. Do you get it? They are always based in the capital. So if something of this sort will happen, it will happen in the capital, not in a rural Ghana.
Have high taste, and this could be part of the things prompting this xenophobia attack.
That was a lighter.
All right,
Samson,
Samson, thank you so much.
But then again, Samson, can you speak your language for us? Let's understand your language. Let's see if we can, you never can tell who we could just
which
say
of
this
them?
person take
Which
from,
of them you want to?
marry from Nigeria?
Which of them? Which of them do you want me to speak? So we have two. We have Ghana.
Your language, Ghana. Just
Maybe,
say something.
or maybe preferably telling Ghanaians not to, attack Nigerians,
stop
choose peace,
xenophobia.
embrace Nigerians, and live in harmony. Something like that. Just a message that people would hear and understand better, knowing that you are one of them and you are urging them to do the right thing.
Okay. So I'll not be able to flow well in my mother tongue. So I'll speak Tree, which is the next after English. And the anomna for Munia Bema, Samson Dominic, how do I frame it? Sedem medium. Make a crabby a tremo. I say, and send be any name. Until time so. Internet so. Say Ghana for air pama Nigeria for an alata for every year chrome. Na enye no kre. Enti mini Nigeria TV station be aye action common. Mama o mati asese enye no kre se Ghana for air pama Nigeria for. Enti ye de ye pe asomdwe. Enti mi sure obi ase asomdwe na ye de ejuma. Na wa wutie mi wa wo share me e what TV so Nigerian so no. Me sure obi bia me kasa fitama. I from is them the boss.
Samson, how do you say thank you in your language?
Okay, you cannot me that say.
Okay,
Aqua,
say. Thank you so much, Samson, for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure having this conversation with you.
It is an honor
So much.
to be on the show.
All right, after this time out, to have our next conversation for tonight. Do stay with us.
Save Nature TV, news in your pocket.